Across the Muslim world, 5 nations stand tall as military giants, each possessing formidable strength. Turkey, Pakistan, Indonesia, Iran, and Egypt, each a powerhouse in its own right. But what happens when we compare them? And what if they unite to confront a superpower like the United States, Russia, or China? Let's dive into the numbers and explore the unimaginable. Let's start with the raw data, numbers that tell a story of power, preparedness, and the strategic weight each of these nations carries on the global stage. Turkey, a nation historically seen as the bridge between Europe and Asia, commands a formidable military presence with over 880,000 personnel. This includes more than 350,000 active soldiers, supported by nearly 380,000 in reserve, ready to be called upon in times of need. Turkey's strategic importance is not just geographical but also military, as it holds NATO's second-largest standing army. This is a force positioned to influence multiple regions, from the Balkans to the Middle East, making Turkey a key player in any global military scenario. Egypt, known as the guardian of the Suez Canal, a crucial maritime choke point, has an even larger total force of over 1.2 million personnel. Though Egypt has a lower ratio of active duty at around 440,000, its strength lies in its significant reserve forces and the strategic value of its location. Controlling the Suez Canal, Egypt holds a critical lever over global trade routes, enhancing its military and economic influence far beyond its borders. On the other hand, Pakistan, a nuclear-armed state with a deeply ingrained military culture, fields a massive total of more than 1.7 million personnel. Among them, over 650,000 are active, reflecting the country's readiness to defend its interests immediately if needed. Pakistan's military doctrine is heavily influenced by its complex security environment, focusing on conventional and asymmetric warfare, ensuring its forces are versatile and resilient. Meanwhile, Indonesia, the world's largest Muslim-majority country, maintains a robust military force of just over 1 million personnel, with 400,000 actively serving. This force is essential for securing Indonesia's vast and diverse archipelago, which stretches over 17,000 islands. The country's strategic focus is on maintaining control over its expansive maritime boundaries and ensuring the stability of its numerous, sometimes remote, regions. The reserve force, also around 400,000, further bolsters Indonesia's ability to mobilize quickly in response to both internal and external threats, reflecting its need to manage a complex, multi-theater defense strategy that spans from the Pacific to the Indian Ocean. Iran, often described as the heart of ancient Persia, mobilizes a total of 1.18 million personnel, including more than 600,000 active members. This force is a blend of modern military capabilities and a deep sense of historical and cultural resilience, rooted in Iran's millennia-old legacy of empire and regional dominance. Iran's reserves, numbering approximately 350,000, provide strategic depth, allowing the country to sustain prolonged engagements if necessary. Iran's military strategy is heavily influenced by its rugged geography, which provides natural defensive advantages, and its regional ambitions, which drive it to project power beyond its borders. This dual focus has led Iran to develop a force that is both defensive, protecting its mountainous terrain and key infrastructure, and expansive, capable of influencing events across the Middle East. When we talk aircraft, Turkey and Egypt soar at the top, both exceeding 1,000 aircraft each. Turkey with 1,069 and Egypt slightly ahead with 1,080. But Pakistan, with its 1,434 aircraft, includes the highest number of air trainers, 549, making it a powerhouse in pilot training, perhaps more prepared for long-term air campaigns. Iran and Indonesia lag behind in aerial numbers but make up for it in ground strength. Iran, with its historical emphasis on land warfare, deploys nearly 2,000 tanks, while Egypt leads with over 5,300, positioning itself as a regional armored force leader. Let's imagine the unthinkable, a coalition of these 5 military powers, united against a single superpower. What would that look like? First, consider the geographic spread, from Turkey's strategic position bordering Europe, the Middle East, and the Black Sea, to Indonesia's archipelagos stretching deep into the Pacific. This coalition would be uniquely positioned to influence multiple continents simultaneously, spanning Europe, Asia, and Africa. The diversity of landscapes, ranging from Turkey's rugged mountains and strategic plains, Iran's vast deserts, Egypt's control of critical land bridges, Pakistan's complex border regions, to Indonesia's extensive maritime territories, would enable this coalition to fight in and dominate a variety of terrains. Coordinating across these vast distances would indeed be a logistical nightmare for any opponent, requiring a level of operational depth and flexibility that few superpowers could match. On land, the sheer volume of armor and artillery this coalition could field would be overwhelming. Collectively, these 5 nations command a staggering 15,468 tanks, 189,592 armored vehicles, and 7,497 artillery pieces, making them a formidable force capable of dominating any battlefield. Turkey alone brings more than 2,200 tanks and over 55,000 armored vehicles into the fray, capable of pushing deep into enemy territory or defending critical fronts with equal efficiency. Egypt's arsenal, which includes over 5,300 tanks and 77,596 armored vehicles, provides another layer of heavy armor capable of holding ground in the Sinai or projecting power across the Mediterranean. Iran's land forces, with nearly 2,000 tanks and an extensive array of artillery, including 580 self-propelled and 2,050 towed artillery pieces, are well suited for both defensive and offensive operations in the harsh terrains of the Middle East. Meanwhile, Pakistan contributes 3,742 tanks and vast artillery resources, more than 3,238 pieces, positioned to engage in high-intensity conflict across South Asia's challenging landscapes. Indonesia, with its focus on mobility and amphibious operations, adds 313 tanks and 11,604 armored vehicles to the coalition's land power, designed to protect and project power across its extensive island chains. Together, these numbers reflect not just the coalition's strength in numbers, but also its capability to fight on multiple fronts with a diverse array of land-based military assets. Strategically, this coalition would control some of the world's most vital choke points, as we've discussed in a previous video. Egypt could choke the Suez Canal, a vital artery for global trade, severing the link between the Mediterranean and the Indian Ocean and the repercussions would be immediate and severe, disrupting supply chains and causing global market upheavals. Iran, with its control over the Strait of Hormuz, through which a fifth of the world's oil passes, could single-handedly create a global energy crisis. Even the threat of disruption would send oil prices skyrocketing, pressuring any superpower reliant on these resources. Meanwhile, Indonesia's control of the Malacca Strait, one of the busiest shipping lanes on the planet, would put a stranglehold on the flow of goods between the Pacific and Indian Oceans. Together, these nations would hold the keys to global maritime trade, capable of exerting pressure on multiple fronts without even engaging in direct conflict. This coalition's land power would not just be about brute strength but also strategic placement. Turkey's armored divisions could quickly respond to threats in Europe or the Middle East, while Iran's and Pakistan's forces could maintain a defensive shield in the east, ready to repel or push forward depending on the needs of the moment. Egypt's and Indonesia's forces would secure the southern and maritime fronts, ensuring that the coalition could sustain long-term operations without losing control over its strategic objectives. This ability to coordinate across multiple theaters, while maintaining control over critical choke points, would make this coalition a formidable opponent, capable of challenging even the most powerful superpowers. The air power of this coalition would be formidable, boasting a combined total of 4,608 aircraft, including 1,057 fighters, 238 attack aircraft, and 1,302 helicopters. This aerial armada would be spearheaded by Turkey and Egypt, who together field over 2,000 aircraft. Turkey contributes 1,069 aircraft, with a significant portion being fighters, including more than 200 dedicated to air superiority. Egypt's Air Force, slightly larger with 1,080 aircraft, includes a versatile mix of fighters and attack helicopters, positioning it as a key player in any air campaign. These two nations provide the bulk of the coalition's aerial combat capability, ready to dominate the skies over any battlefield. Pakistan's air power, with 1,434 aircraft, is notable not just for its size but for its strategic composition. With nearly 550 air trainers, Pakistan ensures a constant supply of well-trained pilots, capable of maintaining air dominance over extended conflicts. This vast fleet of trainers is essential for the coalition's long-term operational readiness, providing a steady stream of skilled aviators to keep the skies filled with capable pilots. Pakistan's Air Force also includes a substantial number of fighters and ground attack aircraft, ready to support both defensive and offensive operations. Iran's Air Force, though smaller with 551 aircraft, plays a crucial role within the coalition. While its fighter fleet is modest, Iran's strength lies in its missile technology and its ability to integrate advanced air defense systems. Paired with Turkey's cutting-edge defense systems, Iran's capabilities would contribute to a layered and resilient air defense network, creating a nearly impenetrable shield against any aerial invasion. This combination of missile technology and air defense infrastructure would be pivotal in protecting coalition airspace and supporting ground operations. Indonesia, with 474 aircraft, brings a unique set of capabilities to the coalition. Focused on maritime and jungle warfare, Indonesia's Air Force is equipped to provide critical support in securing its vast archipelago. Its 210 helicopters, including fewer attack helicopters, ensure rapid response capabilities across Indonesia's dispersed islands, making it difficult for any superpower to challenge the coalition's dominance over these critical maritime regions. Together, these nations would field an air force capable of defending vast territories and projecting power across multiple fronts. The coalition's air superiority, bolstered by a diverse and strategically balanced fleet, would be a key factor in ensuring that no superpower could challenge their united strength from the air. But what would happen if this coalition faced a superpower, say, the United States, Russia, or China? Each of these nations is a formidable opponent with unique military strengths, making them challenging to confront. The outcome would depend on the coalition's unity, strategy, and endurance. Rather than seeking a traditional victory, the coalition could focus on wearing down the enemy through attrition, leveraging its combined population of over 800 million, nearly double that of the United States. This conflict would be unprecedented in scale, with battles fought on land, at sea, in the air, and across cyberspace. The United States fields the most technologically advanced military, with over 1.4 million active duty personnel and 800,000 in reserve. Its Navy, with over 490 ships, including 11 aircraft carriers, can project power globally. The U.S. Air Force commands more than 13,000 aircraft, ensuring air superiority. Additionally, the U.S. has over 6,000 nuclear warheads and unmatched cyber capabilities. The coalition would face a massive, highly coordinated military machine with global reach. Russia, though smaller in budget, maintains a powerful military with around 1 million active personnel and 2 million in reserve. Its Navy operates over 600 vessels, and its Air Force includes 4,200 aircraft, focusing on advanced fighters and bombers. Russia's ground forces are among the most heavily armored, with over 12,000 tanks. Its 6,000 nuclear warheads and strong cyber warfare capabilities make it a formidable adversary, especially with its geographic advantage in Eurasia. China commands the world's largest active military force with 2 million personnel. The The People's Liberation Army Navy has over 700 ships, including 3 aircraft carriers. China's Air Force, with around 3,000 aircraft, includes advanced stealth fighters. On land, China fields over 5,250 tanks and 35,000 armored vehicles. Its anti-access/area denial systems, growing nuclear arsenal, and strong cyber and space capabilities make China a powerful challenger. Facing any of these forces, the coalition would likely leverage geographic advantages, control key choke points, and engage in asymmetrical warfare to counter the superpowers' superior technology and numbers. Disrupting global trade through the Suez Canal, the Strait of Hormuz, and the Malacca Strait would be vital in prolonging the conflict and applying economic pressure. On land, the coalition's tank and armored vehicle fleets, combined with its strategic depth, would aim to engage in attritional warfare, avoiding direct confrontations where the superpowers' advantages would be most decisive. However, the coalition would face significant challenges in the air and at sea, where the superpowers could potentially dominate. Advanced missile systems, cyber warfare, and asymmetric tactics would be essential to leveling the playing field. The conflict would likely involve a mix of conventional battles and irregular warfare, with the coalition using its local terrain knowledge and population resilience to outlast the invaders. The outcome would hinge on the coalition's ability to maintain unity and morale over time. While outright victory might be unlikely, the coalition's goal would be to impose such high costs that the superpowers reconsider the conflict's value. This unprecedented war would reshape global order, leaving lasting impacts on international relations, economies, and societies worldwide. In the end, the true strength of this coalition lies not just in numbers, but in the unity and resolve of these nations. The ability to act as one, to coordinate across diverse terrains and cultures, could transform the very nature of global power. Making use of the military industries in these top 5 nations. The world has never seen a united front like this in a long time since the Ottoman and Safavid empires, an alliance that could shift the balance of power and challenge the very notion of a single superpower's dominance. This is not just a thought experiment. It's a reminder that in a world of shifting alliances and rising powers, the future is never set in stone. If you like this video, please consider giving us a like, and if you want more videos like this, make sure you follow us on Mind Polish. Thank you for staying with us to the end, and until next time.